Hello.
Bonjour. I'm Chris Kisguri Carson. I work for Click Team in the capacity of selling in the southeast states of the United States, and I also run the infamous Gamesare studios. What I was asked to talk about was a little unclear, so I'm going to ask everybody a question. What do you want to hear? I could talk about what we're making. I can talk about my experience in trying to promote games made in Multimedia Fusion in the commercial arena, or you tell me. What do you guys want to hear? What would be most helpful?
Both.
Both?
All of the above.
That's telling me I got too much
Start
time.
with your game and then how you sell them.
Great. Started clicking 7 years ago. Wanted to get into game development. Always wanted to do it. Looked the internet for weeks trying to find a tool that I could learn quickly and get the results that I wanted. Looked at all of them. Those fools at the game creators, and then there's the what's that one that's it's horrible, some basic something. Dark Basic, but then there's also Game Creator, the Game Creator. And, none of it seemed to have a commercial capability. And then I happened upon Click Team and downloaded the Games Factory. And I bought mine in 2000 for $49.95 and started using that. Shortly thereafter, upgraded to Multimedia Fusion and spent the first year to 2 years really trying to learn the tool. Our first game that we were able to do, that we released commercially, was Kinesis. We'll fire that up real quick. It's a Pong clone. Everybody has to have a Pong clone for the first game, right? We tried to do something unique with it. One thing we did is we put a story on it. I've never seen a Pong game with a story. And we tried to add a ton of features to it to make it somewhat commercially acceptable. And it's done fairly well. Level editor, no audio. Where's the audio? Does this need to turn up? No.
Are you sure?
Is it plugged in?
It's plugged in.
It had mute on it.
Yeah, somebody needed the speaker earlier, I think.
You guys need help? Try hitting that mute button again.
IT support?
Sorry? Try hitting that mute button again.
Where is mute?
Blazes.
Done.
Okay, hold on. It's not making any noise here either.
Yeah.
So, nothing super revolutionary, but it represented us completing a project and bringing it to the marketplace. And I see a lot of projects, usually freeware, going through our community, and they always seem to get dropped. And yes, it's difficult. It's difficult to start a project. It's difficult to follow through and complete it. We learned a lot of steps. But, just your basic little Pong clone. We bounce the ball. Some of the things we did different in this version, take on it, is you have this little meter at the bottom that's blue, that's turning red. Every time the plasma ball hits your ship, it takes away a little energy. And if you run out of energy, you die, so you have to collect the little falling stardust to replenish it. And then we try to add a bunch of different modes. Like the graviton mode is kind of fun. Let's check that out real quick. Anybody play this? 1 player. 2 players. That's great. I'm pretty good about it. This has in 1.5 some actual pinball movement, which is kind of neat. So we learned a lot of lessons from that. All I can say in game development, it's really about keeping track of your experience, learning from it, and then applying those lessons in the next project. One thing we learned from this was, you have a goal, and you got to constantly reevaluate those goals. Okay, maybe something is unattainable or unattainable in the speed of what you're doing. And I think Click Team did a good job of demonstrating that, answering questions about what they're going to do. You've got to constantly reprioritize, categorize what you're going to do, and sometimes you got a feature or an idea, you need to eliminate it. see too many times people saying, "Oh, I can't do this what I want it to do, so I'm going to quit." If you put 2-3 years into a project, you don't quit, you get it done. So we learned that. When we put it out there, we asked a bunch of people who have already been in the business how they distribute the game, and we went ahead and did that with Kinesis. PromoSoft, PadSoft, pad submission programs. Anybody know what a pad file is? No. A pad file is an XML file that you generate that is the Shareware Association's standard information file that contains everything about your game: download size, URLs, pictures, all that good stuff. And these programs submit that to hundreds of sites. What that did for us is when we did that, it gained exposure. And that exposure brought other people into it. A good example of that is Robotopia. Robotopia, when we released it, we're at a certain level. It was out there for people to see. VH1 picked it up. They put it on TV. Does anybody know what VH1 is besides us salty Americans? Okay.
It's in Europe as well.
What's that?
It's in Europe as well.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. And they put it on their website. So that was a result of us following through with the activities involved in promoting the game. And the game process really needs to be, if you want an official game process, what the IGDA would call the process is you have your conceptual, then you have your engine design, and then you have your actual work, and then near the end of the engine work you need to begin promotion, and then you release. And that's a simplified version of it. So, through that we gain more and more. At one point, with a couple games under our belt, we were approached by a distributor. A distributor is someone who offers it through retail channels and through exclusive internet portals. An example of that is Oberon Media. They exclusively control Yahoo, MSN, and AOL portals, which are big portals. The people that approached us is Zing Games, and we're dealing with more of the places on the planet, let's just say, where computers are kind of new, if you know what I mean. So not a whole lot of money in it, but it was an opportunity. And so we took the opportunity and we did, I think, several games like Poly Adventure here. Anybody seen this? No? Okay. Anybody seen Luxor? Luxor. Anybody seen Luxor?
The original.
Yeah. Well, Zuma, I think, may have been the original, but Luxor was the most successful. Luxor is the most successful casual game in history so far. Gotta love resolution changes with them. So this was done for Zing. They paid us a development fee to make it, and then we get a percentage of whatever they distribute. Plus, I'm allowed to distribute it wherever I want in the digital world. So it's kind of hard to play from this perspective here. It's your typical ball break kind of game. Has anybody seen this type of game now? Did they see it?
Yes.
Yeah. So it was real fun to figure out how to do it. But what that did for us is now I'm able to generate, because when I'm selling the game myself, I'm generating my own sales records. Okay, and a potential higher-end partner is going to look at those records in a suspect manner. Well, you're reporting these numbers. But if I have a distributor, an official distributor, whom prospective clients in the future have had relationships with before, and I have sales numbers from them, that adds more validity to my company being able to complete a project for someone. And through that step of the phase, we were able to meet more folks who are working with us, like Steve and